What's going on, Tide Nation, Crimson Tide Nation? This is Jan716 back here again, and today I want to talk to you guys about if Mac Jones and a banged up Alabama squad from this point forward, are they good enough to make it to the college football playoff? And then, of course, they got a long road ahead of them. You look at the schedule, they play Western Carolina. That should be a win. If I'm Nick Saban, I would play all my second string and third string players to get them as much experience as possible because that Auburn game is going to be physical. That Auburn game, I can see a lot of injuries. That defense is one of the best in the nation. It's carried that Auburn team to what they are now, especially through a difficult schedule. And this is, man, it's that Auburn game, especially with Mac Jones in the it's going to be a very, very tough game for us. So, I'm sorry, guys. I'm really just thinking about that game. That is going to be a physical game. But Mac Jones, let's talk about Mac Jones real quick. Is he good enough to get this team in? Yes, I'm like it's 55, it's 55 to 40. I'm like 55% sure I think he is good enough to get in because with all you got to look at the personnel that's surrounding Mac Jones. You got Jerry Jeudy, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, and Henry Ruggs. Now, Henry Ruggs, you take him out the equation because I understand he had bruised ribs, and rib injuries are a pain in the ass. So he might not have the ability to play. Well, you slide in Jalen Waddle in that situation. You slide in Jalen Waddle in there, you still have three receivers, and even if he's out, you got two really good. You got two of the best receivers in all of college football. You got a Jor Moorhead offensive line, which if you guys don't know what that is, that's Alabama has one of the top 10 best offensive lines in all of college football. They're once again a finalist for that trophy. So you got a top 10 offensive line. You got a great running back in Najee Harris. You got the personnel at the receiving position, and you have a great offensive coordinator in Steve Sarkisian. And we saw during that Arkansas game that Mac Jones, of course, he's not Tua. No one's going to be Tua. But if he can just limit the amount of mistakes he makes, he doesn't force any throws. He throws the football. He throws the football away when he really, really has to, and not try to force and really not try to force things. If he can just see what the defense can give him, and choose the proper reads, go through his progressions correctly, it's not going to be a problem for Mac Jones. Now that's all easier said than done, but I saw that in the Arkansas game. I saw him just make the things that are just fundamentally well for the quarterback position. He did things that not a lot of quarterbacks do. But he looked confident. He played carefree, and he said it himself. Hey, I want to have fun. I trust my offensive coordinator. I trust my receiver. I just trust the personnel surrounding me. So yeah, I'm confident in Mac Jones' ability in order for us to at least give us a chance, give us a spark, especially playing against that Auburn defense. Now, can we beat Auburn and Jordan Hare? That's the question. This is a very, very tough Auburn squad. Like I said again, that defense is rough. It's going to be the best defensive line that Alabama plays all year. This might be a game where we might not even be able to run the football effectively in this game. We might actually have to throw the ball a lot in this game. But can Mac Jones do it? When the pressure is all on him, can he ride it out? I have confidence in Mac Jones. And the question is, does Mac Jones have confidence in himself going into Jordan Hare? Especially, matter of fact, does the team have confidence in Mac Jones? Because they're going to be deflated. Tua's injury impacts the entire program and it impacts college football. But yeah, those players, it's going to impact those players. Those players even said themselves they felt devastated. They felt depressed. I mean, hey, I would be feeling the same way too. Matter of fact, I actually am feeling the same way as those players. So you got to take that into consideration going into Auburn. What's his connection going to be like when he's with the receivers, when he's trying to work on timing routes? Of course, Alabama runs a lot of RPOs. So the most important thing when it comes to RPOs is timing. And what's going to be can he nail that timing down with those receivers? That's going to be another question. Pass protection, right? Auburn love to blitz. They love to do stunts. They like to play man-to-man coverage. They have to play bump and run. Those quarterbacks are physical, right? Can Mac Jones adjust if things are not going his way? That's another question that we're gonna have to see from Mac Jones. Now, of course, we're all looking at that Arkansas game and we're saying to ourselves, well, he played great against Arkansas. He can play great against Auburn. Arkansas got shellacked by Western Kentucky, so I can't take them seriously. But it is a good start for Mac Jones as a potential confidence booster, and also for those players. If Tua goes down, we can have Mac Jones come in and he can potentially step up. So, we're just gonna have to find out and see against Auburn if Mac Jones is good enough. I believe if Alabama can beat Auburn, no matter what the score is, if they beat Auburn and Jordan Hare, Alabama should have an opportunity to make it to the college football playoffs. They shouldn't be out, right? Or at least the playoff committee should they have got to discuss Alabama making it to they got to discuss it, right? Because again, I can make my case that Alabama can get in. Auburn beats between Oregon, Utah, and this is if we're assuming that if Georgia doesn't even win the SEC. So if it's between Oregon, Utah, or Oklahoma, let's say Georgia loses, it's those three teams, and then you have to include Alabama. But if I'm trying to make my debate with Alabama going into the college football playoffs, first of all, Auburn, they defeated Oregon on a neutral site field, and this is what the college football playoff committee, they look at, on a neutral site field, who is going to win? Who's going to win the game if it's on a neutral site field? We got that answer between Auburn and Oregon. Auburn beat Oregon. Oregon hasn't had one quality win ever since. They just haven't. Right now, you cannot name one team right now on Oregon's schedule that's in the top 25. There's no one. You look at Utah's schedule. They lost to an unranked opponent, and there's no one on Utah's schedule that is ranked. No one. Now, you can say the same thing about Alabama, but if Alabama beats Auburn, right? If Alabama beats Auburn, that is a quality win. They also have a quality loss, which the playoff committee definitely takes into consideration. They're also going to have to take into consideration about Tua's injury. If Mac Jones and Alabama can beat Auburn without Tua, how do you not consider Alabama going into the college football playoffs? They beat Auburn, a top 10 defense, arguably the best defense in the SEC. You look at the losses that they had, losing by 3 to LSU, losing by a touchdown to Georgia, losing I think by a touchdown to Florida. How do you not consider Auburn? I'm sorry. How do you not consider Alabama in the college football playoffs? They beat the team that beat Oregon. So how could we sit here and justify that Oregon and Utah are better, or they're the most deserving teams to get in, when they haven't played anybody but each other? So how can we sit there and say that Utah and that Oregon, they're playoff teams, they haven't played anybody? Now, I understand that it's hard to win games. Yes, I could agree. It's very, very hard to win games, but they haven't played anybody. They haven't. Alabama at least has played 3 quality opponents. Who the hell has Oregon? Oregon's played Auburn and lost. I don't know, people. So yeah, Bama. They will beat Auburn, who beat Oregon. They won with their backup quarterback, and depending on how if Alabama can blow out Auburn, then I'm going to make a rant if we don't get into the college football playoffs if we blow out Auburn. But if we win by a close game, it's a debate. It's a debate. It's not something that the playoff committee say, okay, Oregon, Utah, whoever wins that game is getting in. No, it shouldn't be about that. Or if Oklahoma wins the Big 12, they're getting in. No, it shouldn't be about that. If Alabama beats Auburn with Mac Jones, we should have a long debate about whether Alabama gets in or not. I'm sorry. But we're going to find out. Today is the playoff rankings, so we are going to find out if Alabama, what place they're in, whether they're going to favor Utah or Oregon to move ahead of Alabama, or if Alabama's going to stay the same way at number 5. Obviously, we're going to find out. But, of course, the next couple of weeks for Alabama, it's going to be pretty serious. Now, Western Carolina, no doubt that's a win. But really, that Auburn game is the game that everyone's going to focus on, whether if Mac Jones could lead the charge or not. Right now, I'm like 55% sure that he can get it done. The team, I know, but again, a lot of questions will be answered in a couple weeks, whether if Alabama can get in or not without Tua Tagovailoa, and also potentially without Raekwon Davis, and maybe even without Henry Ruggs. So anyway, guys, that's all I got for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you guys liked the video, I would appreciate it if you guys hit that subscribe button if you want to see more content from me. Also like the video and share it. Also really helps out the channel as well. And yeah, that's all I got for today. So anyway, guys, this is Gen716. I'm gonna check you guys out later when the playoff committee reveals their rankings. I'll make another video talking about those rankings as well. So anyway, guys, this is Gen716. I'm out. Peace.